It's like, okay, if a Fiat 500 is like one of those little tiny dogs that's yapping all the time, this is like an in-between kind of dog. Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Forza Motorsport 6, and we are going to be doing another episode of Why Would You Race That? And the last few episodes of Why Would You Race That have actually been kind of well received, and you guys seem to enjoy them, so I'll definitely keep doing them because you guys have been really showing some support for them, which I really appreciate. And the subject of today's Why Would You Race That is the 2013 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. Now, the Veloster Turbo is a bit of an interesting car because you've got two kind of camps of people that surround this car. You've got the people that like it and think it's a cool car, and you've got other people that really don't like it. You've got some certain people that actually really hate these cars, and it kind of like, I kind of fall somewhere in the middle when it comes to these cars. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but at the same time, I'm also like, I don't hate them per se. Like, I'm not gonna say, you know, oh, you know, like, your Veloster Turbo is disgusting. No, I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm not gonna say anything like that about it, but I think the thing with me with these cars is that they've never been quite the best as far as, they don't have any main focus per se. They're not the best at any one thing. They're not massively powerful, but at the same time, they're not massively, you know, they're not massively good at handling either. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can find a happy medium for this car and really turn it into something special. Maybe even like a Hyundai Veloster track rat. Who knows? Now, let's get the brakes on there, get the new suspension on there. I am going to leave this thing probably front drive because I kind of want to preserve the kind of like the spirit of this car. Now, we could make it all-wheel drive, but I think at the same time, keeping this thing as a front drive car kind of keeps it a little bit more in the realm of its original character and competing with its original set of competitors, honestly. So when we do full weight reduction, that brings us down to 2,428 pounds, which is pretty good. It's pretty good for a little front drive hatchback. And let's see, we get our race clutch kit. Wait, hold on. Before we do that, let's see what engine options we have. Now, the stock engine comes with 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque, so it's relatively well balanced. It is a turbocharged engine, so we might actually just upgrade the stock engine, or we could pop the 1.6 liter turbo rally engine in it and gain up to 337 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque, or we can put a 3.7 V6 in it. Now, I'm honestly very curious about the turbo rally engine, the 1.6 liter, so I'm actually going to go with that engine, and we'll actually see, because all we've got to do is do restrictor plates. That's all we have to do on this thing, and let's see. That gives us quite a bit of power, so we could go for a B-class version of this car. We go for a B-class because we've already done full suspension, brakes. Let's see where it puts us when we do. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go to race tires, and then we'll go and put those restrictor plates back on. We'll put those back on, and we're gonna have to actually, to get this down to B-class with that engine, we're going to have to stick some weight back in it, which is not exactly what I would really like to do, because I mean, I'm all about trying to save weight with these cars, and to me, like, adding weight back in to try to fit into a certain class can either help you or hurt you, depending on how much power you actually have, because in the end, I mean, power really is not everything. It really comes down to your, overall weight in the end. So let's see, what will we be running in the front? 215s. It knows, it's like, aha, you're trying to upgrade that front tire width because you know it's front wheel drive and you know it's going to blow the tires off with those 215s. But the thing is, they're race compound 215s, so they might actually work out decently well. I'm going to really see if I can fit it into B-class with this engine. Those wheels look really good on this car. They look properly nice. So do these, though. There's a lot of wheels that look good on this car. That's kind of a nice thing about the Velosters, too, is they take a lot of different kind of, I don't know, they accept a lot of different wheels. And In fact, let's see if we can go even lighter. A nice set of, oh yes, Dimag 9 spokes. And in the end, I mean, we can do... That actually lowers our PI. I'm trying to get us right up there to the top of B class. That's 599. Holy crap, that is a massive PI decrease for the rear wing. I mean, rear wings on front-wheel drive cars, you know, it's a debatable thing, but at the same time, good grief. I mean, look at that. That might actually help us fit in a little bit better if I could find a way to kind of, you know, work around it. That's 604. Yeah, that's going to drop the PI. I mean, I know PI isn't really everything, and it's not. In the end, it's definitely far from everything. You know what it's making me want to do? It's making me want to switch. So you know what? We're going back to the stock engine. I'm serious. We're going back to the stock engine. We're building the stock engine. Because honestly, I would rather go with the weight savings and build the stock engine and be able to do all of the drivetrain mods that I want to and not have to worry about it. So let's see. Upgrade the turbo. Single turbo setup, so we're putting it into B class 532. And actually, another thing I want to do before we leave there, race flywheel. And now we can do all of the drivetrain stuff, race transmission, and let's see, race drive shaft, carbon fiber drive shaft. And the thing is, it would be more like upgraded CV axles because it's a front-wheel drive car, but still front-wheel drive car with a transaxle. And let's see. And now we can just kind of round out that PI by upgrading the power as we go, just to see. We're at B564. I'm thinking back to the Forza 4 days where I think it's Forza 4. Was it Forza 4 where like the 500s was A class? That may have been Forza 5. I'm not sure. I actually don't remember. Oh wow, race valves put us right at B600. 310 horsepower, 300 pound-feet of torque. That is so balanced at 2,570 pounds. That is super balanced. I'm actually really interested to see how it does. A little bit more camber in the front for a better turn-in, because I know it's probably going to understeer a bit. Ride height will bring that all the way down. And let's see. We want a little bit more downforce towards cornering in the front, I feel like. Maybe just like 77 pounds, not too much more. In fact, like just 76, nothing crazy. 55% and 105. Hold on, cancel that. Diff. Now, tuning a front drive diff is a little bit different. And, I mean, it's not too different. I kind of want to do just a little bit. Well, let's run it on the stock setting. Let's run it on the stock setting and see how it does. And let's take it and go ahead and go to Rivals mode and see what we can do as far as lap times go in B-Class Time Attack. Now, let's see. For tracks, I think I'm probably going to start this thing out on a mildly twisty circuit, but a circuit where we've got a little bit of room to use the power as well. So let's actually do Sonoma. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say right off the bat, that I'm actually not that experienced with front-wheel drive cars. I have a lot more experience with rear-wheel drive, but I'm actually kind of curious as to see what kind of times I can put down. Where is... I just realized I've lost Hyundai. I've lost Hyundai because I never use any Hyundais. I really don't. Trail braking is going to be our friend. It really is with this car. I'm very, very adamant on that, I think. Because when you get into trail braking and stuff like that with like a lot of the front-wheel drive cars, that's one of the only ways you have to rotate the back end of the car. I'm also quite curious to see how it sounds. That is low. That is really, really freaking low. I mean, I'm blown away by how low that is. Alright, Veloster. See what you got. Blows the front tires off. Oh yeah, once you're up in the power band, like it really does pull. Wow, the torque steer. Good God. That is a whole, dude, that is a hell of a lot of torque steer. It's actually got a good bit of torque to it, though. And listen to that sound. That is an angry little engine. I mean, it screams all the way up to 7,000. This thing is angry. I like that. Yes. It's like, okay, if a Fiat 500 is like one of those little tiny dogs that's yapping all the time, this is like an in-between kind of dog. It's not quite little and yapping all the time, but it's also not exactly like... It's a medium-sized dog, right? It's a medium-sized dog that occasionally barks when it feels threatened, and I think it feels very much threatened by that. What is it? An S10 up in front of us? If that's an S10, I mean, we need to dethrone that thing. I mean, we are. I know we're in a front-wheel drive car, but still, that S10's got to go down. Actually, rotates a lot better than I thought it would under braking. Stay in it and brake hard. Oh, crap. Oh, God. Kept the lap clean. Holy crap. Oh, God. It's Jeep Guy. It's Jeep Guy. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys sure know who Jeep Guy is. Good grief. You had to be very careful where you position it coming out of the corner. And honestly, I'm actually happier with it than I thought I would be. I did not see myself enjoying a front-wheel drive circuit car really at all until I drove this thing. This thing actually is kind of progressively changing my opinion on like B-class, you know, C-class, B-class, A-class front drive circuit cars. I mean, especially this one, it handles itself pretty damn well. And you kind of have to drive it similarly to driving an all-wheel drive, except for you can't do like, you know, you can't do all-wheel power slides and crap. Oh yeah. I need more braking force, a lot more brake bias up there to the front, because this thing is not slowing down very well. And that's with race brakes. Reason why I didn't do much with the brake tuning is because generally my cars don't need much brake tuning. I mean, they're pretty good to go right off the bat after you put the race brake kit on them. You start to learn, like back there in that previous corner, you learn techniques where you're instead of say, for example, kind of pitching the car into the corner, letting the front end dive a little bit, and then correcting with the power at the rear. You throw the rear end out on the way into the corner, and then kind of drag the front end around out of the corner with the front wheels. It's a very different characteristic and a very different technique, but it's certainly not bad. It's certainly something you can get used to, and I guarantee you something you can be fast with. You almost get a little bit of a flick kind of thing going on, like you kind of flick the car in. It's spinning like it's spinning one of the two tires up front when we're exiting a corner. I can feel it. But man, that sound. I mean, again, it goes back to like, this is an angry little machine. Just hugs these corners. Hugs them so well. And to be honest, if I had not started this series, I would have never given this car a second look. Never. I would never have given this car a second look, or especially considered it for a circuit car. I never would have. And I'm kind of glad that I have this series and that you guys suggest cars to me, because it's like sometimes you find these hidden gems of vehicles that you would not otherwise find. Stay in it, stay in it. Oh, crap. No. Oh, jeez. Oh, that was close. That was really damn close. Again, it's so weird not being able to power out of a corner. Like, I haven't quite wrapped my head around that yet, because I get on the throttle halfway through a corner, and I just plow head on, and it's weird. But, let's see, what kind of times are we putting down? We are putting down, we put down a clean 150.2. And a clean 150.2, that, I mean, it's not anywhere near as quickly as I could go, I feel like, in a rear-wheel drive B-class circuit car. But at the same time, it's certainly not, you know, it's not like it's something terrible either. Let's see where that puts us. That's like 1,307. Let's actually see, oh, crap. I want to see, dang it, Division. What kind of, so Division, I guess, is like, for front-wheel drive cars. So we've got like a 92 Golf, Renault Clio, Renault 5 Turbo, a bunch of 97 Civics. We're like 338th out of like 1,831. It's not terrible, but I think at the same time, I'll have to practice a lot more with this whole fast front-wheel drive car type thing, because I'm not very experienced with the fast front-wheel drive stuff. Much better off for me with the rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. But if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this episode of Why Would You Race That, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed.